I'm paying the bill.
like I'm paying the bill.
Straight out of Harris,
Straight outta Harris,
straight out of Harris County. Ain't talking about Houston.
ain't talking about
I'm
Houston.
in Georgia with dogs and tigers. I'm from the county.
I'm from the county.
Hey, welcome in to Kudzu Sports Show. I'm Rick Beach, bringing you all this Harris County news from over the last week. Hey, school started back and kind of getting back with a bang with athletics. Winter sports getting ready to wrap up, really getting into its finer parts of it. But hey, this is going to be a quick show. We know we got the NFL going on. A lot of people watching the playoffs. We got the Niners and the Eagles in a good game. The other three games from this weekend has been fantastic. No reason to expect this one not to end fantastic. Then the nightcap later on with the Patriots and Chargers being the same way. So I know we're going to try to keep this short, get it going, but do got some things, housekeeping of sorts, but just kind of some exciting things happening in Harris County with athletics. And first, let's just start with that wrestling team. Boys and girls both winning region this weekend. The girls called area, much like flag football. Boys region is the same thing. There's only 4 schools in the entire state this year to win both the boys and the girls. So 4 wrestling programs. That's out of 374 programs. You're looking at Harris County along with Long County, Jefferson, and Camden County. So Harris County's one of the overall wrestling programs, top ones, the region duels this weekend. Boys and girls, shout out to them for pretty much for winning that and setting themselves up for state duels later on. Boys, this is going to be the 10th year in a row. They're at least 16th in the state in duels. What an incredible feat. Talking with the Coach Moore the other day in his program, the seniors on his team were in kindergarten when this streak began. So that's pretty neat to see what this streak means. So wrestling's rocking and rolling. Basketball, girls basketball, they're still clicking. Big win, region win Friday over Monday's Mill. Then a blowout victory last night over Manchester. Boys still struggling a little bit, but you could tell yesterday, seeing them in person, seeing them on a Saturday night, when it's easy to kind of give up, see what was going on when Manchester started kind of pulling away. But they got a lot of fight, a lot of youth in that team. And, you could just see they're starting to try to turn that corner. They just need something good to happen. It's like they're just something good happen and they can roll with it, waiting on that moment. And hopefully they can build on that moment and create more successful moments down the road. Going back to the girls, they're phenomenal. They got senior leadership, Lana, Cricket, and Kendall Muff. Them 3 seniors are fantastic. But they had some freshmen last night that blew me away that I really, really get excited about thinking how good this girls program. You're talking about a program that wins region year in, year out, expected to win it again this year. 2 years ago, a point away from making a Final Four and going up to Carrollton playing for a state championship. And you look at this future, they had Chester, they got Willis, Lily Watson. You have these girls. Aubrey Gates got in and played. You had 4 freshmen playing last night. And as the lead was big, and you look at it and say, well, of course they played freshmen. No, they played them freshmen early on. And sometimes Coach Ramsey had 3 to 4 of them on the court, even when it was a close game. So that's pretty incredible and something to get excited about when you're thinking about the basketball program and where that girls program could be. When you look at the boys, you think Coach Ellison come from that girls program, coaching with them underneath Coach Ramsey for so long. And that gives you the confidence and faith that boys team will turn the corner eventually. But it's going to take some time. You got to get people in there, and you got to get the kids to come in there and buy into it, and that program can take off like much of the programs at Harris County. And, when you talk athletics, you think with the bigger sports at Harris County, 2 of them, you got baseball and football. We're going to get right into both of those. Baseball's 4 weeks away from starting, and they got a big game to start the season. You're talking February 9th at Columbus High School. It's kind of like almost a tradition here lately where Harris County and Columbus starting this way, where you're going to have a dynamite matchup with Columbus High School bringing in, athletes year in, year out, the history that they have. And with Harris County, it's, they're going to the future. Well, at some point, you just got to roll with it and say, hey, we're here. Now, they're not as seasoned as you might think. Your freshmen coming up or, coming out of freshman ball in middle school. But, hey, it's now. The time is now. Let's go seize it and see what these guys can do. We looked last year, Will Dimitri, Caden Dimitri, Brody Johnson, which we're still praying for Brody. Saw him Friday. Man, that's incredible to see how, he was with his dad. I saw him at the school Friday. Brody's just full of spirits, and he's already ready to get ready for the season. Later on, trying to make a comeback later in the season. But he had a fantastic freshman year last year. You look at, they got so much talent. Me and Ethan talked last week, and we get excited about it. But it all starts at the top with Dejon Elder and his senior leadership. He's playing shortstop. He's starting pitcher, so he's right there in the middle. It's right where you want your leader to be, and it's just going to be fun to watch that Dejon. Then with all this junior and sophomore class around him, then you got some freshmen. There's some freshmen going to get y'all more information on for y'all to keep your eye on. But there's a lot of good talent on this county team going ninth all the way at the 12th grade. So February 9th, they start at Columbus High School. There's no doubt in my mind Georgia Alabama Sports Live will have that game. And Nautilman, who I believe is going to Georgia Tech, should be starting for Columbus High School. It's going to be an insane atmosphere February 9th. And like I said, I expect Georgia Alabama Sports Live to 100% be covering that ball game right here on GASL. Then February 16th, Columbus comes to the county. And that'd be the county's first home game. The excitement level has been so high for this baseball team. There's no reason not to expect a large crowd for that, even though early in the season's cool weather, early nights because the time change hadn't happened. So, all that going on. But hey, I expect big crowds this year for baseball. They're going to be fun to watch. That's always, of course, that helps the crowd. You never, get a big crowd for bad baseball teams, but teams that are exciting, can hit for power, do the small things, got some electric pitching. Those are the teams that can pack the stands. And that's what I expect Harris County to be able to do this year. So February 9th, February 16th, home opener. They got tournaments at Lake Point, in the week following. That's huge. Going to be fun to see, going against some really, really the top talent in the state at those events. It's going to be super fun to see. Always looking forward to that. Then we'll wrap this up with a little bit of football. You think, hey, football in January? Absolutely. In Harris County, football started last Tuesday. Kids went to school. 2026 season started. Really and truly going out to the practice. It's exciting. It's exciting to see these kids. The size difference is already something you could tell. Caden Harrison put on 15 pounds since the end of the season, and that's all muscle. And you could tell by looking at him, the kid's looking sharp. Now, he has got baseball going on now, but he's also got football. Talked to him Friday morning. Excited to see that kid in that offense with new offensive coordinator Andrew Orpiza, who I saw Coach O last night at the basketball game supporting Harris County. Fun to see that. Love him coming in there, but he's got a long way to go installing this offense. He's got to install the offense in there, and it starts with this quarterback, that Caden Harrison. And we saw them young receivers. We're so excited about them young receivers. And when I went to the weight room to watch them, I couldn't wait to go watch them young receivers. But man, I went right to that offensive line, watching them guys sling some weight. There's some up and coming sophomores that is really fun to watch. Xander Colley, William Wicks. But man, they were slinging some weight around. They're getting ready for the season. Then they're running out. They got phenomenal conditioning program, and it takes a little while for these things to get going. And a young team, I think next year we're going to start turning that curve and seeing that weight room and conditioning paying off. And plus, you have your defense will have a full year with Coach Winkles. He came in last year. He's kind of trying to solidify himself during the spring. They get the summer, and then you're in the season where now they're going to get Winkles. They're familiar with it. They know his terminology. You're bringing in Coach O early in the spring. You're bringing him in the first week they came back to school. So as soon as they come back to school and start conditioning, they can start the install. So it's exciting to see that. And, for me, Coach Watson came up to me during practice and said, hey, you got to get my man security. You got to go record my man security. And I went out there. They were grilling hamburgers. Guy stepped in, played for the program. Kid was just grilling up some burgers, a whole bunch for the team. They had a line out the door. And that's a big shout out to the Touchdown Club that provides this food, provides all this stuff for the football team. And when people think they're donating to the Touchdown Club, it's only equipment or it's only, fuel for the trailer. But no, there's so much that goes for the Touchdown Club. And you can't talk about the Touchdown Club. Mr. Lenny, the president of the Touchdown Club, what he's given to the county and what he's given for this Touchdown Club, where they can provide all this food and condiments and clothing and all this stuff, the washing detergent, so many little things that go a long way. And sometimes you take it for granted when you're inside, but when you go to some of these other schools and you hear about these other schools, it makes you appreciate what you got more, which makes you appreciate the Touchdown Club and Mr. Lenny and also Derek Moxley and Lisa Scully and what they do with that Touchdown Club and how much that Touchdown Club matters to Harris County football. It's the lifeblood. You got to have it. Shout out to the Touchdown Club providing the burgers for security to throw on there. And when I tell you there's a line of players, and I've never peanut butter sandwiches and stuff. They used to eat hot dogs in the past. I think they kind of got where they wasn't liking that as much. They're loving this, having a good warm cheeseburger right after practice and rock and rolling throughout the day. So shout out to security, Coach Watson and the Touchdown Club for making that happen and keeping that rolling. I'm at the mark now. I know they done kicked off the start of that second half, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Don't forget 8 o'clock, Thrift. Rich and Richard are going to bring you Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show, all the high school news from over the week. They're going to bring you all the rankings and everything else you can imagine that they do each and every week. Try to stir the pot, try to get some of that content going. Where we need some chatter in these comment sections. We don't get the comments that we would really, really like. Thrift ain't going to talk about it. I'll talk about it because I know we like to get that. Kudzu ain't as big, but I'd like to see it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I'd like to see some of the comments on the show talking about the rankings, talking about what they're arguing about and what they're going back and forth about. But that's all we got this week. I appreciate it. Next week, me and Ethan looking to make our studio debut, but don't hold us to it because, hey, a lot can happen, especially when it's coming to live sports that we're trying to keep up with and chase around, but we're trying to make it in studio right there where Thrift and Richard want to show our bond with them and our camaraderie with them. So that's next week. We're hoping to be in studio and hopefully, we'll be doing some baseball stuff here soon. I will say this, Queen of the County's next Monday on Kudzu. And then that's always a big event for wrestling. Then Tuesday, Northside Harris County, always a rivalry no matter the sport. That'll be on Tuesday, girls at 6, boys at 7:30. Then the 27th will be Stars Mill. So we can't wait to see y'all in studio next week. Then Monday, definitely at Queen of the County. For everybody with Kudzu Sports, I'm Rick Beach. See you next week. Go Tigers.